Good morning, everyone. Today, we're exploring a topic that is central to maternal health in many communities, including here in South Sudan: the intersection between religion and maternal health care. Religion plays a significant role in shaping family life, health-seeking behavior, and expectations around pregnancy and childbirth. As midwifery students, understanding these religious dimensions enables you to provide care that is respectful, culturally grounded, and clinically safe. Let's begin by clarifying what we mean by religion and spirituality. Religion generally refers to an organized system of beliefs, rituals, and moral teachings associated with the sacred. In South Sudan, Christianity dominates, but traditional African religions remain deeply influential, especially in rural areas. Islam is also present in some regions. Spirituality, on the other hand, is a more personal search for meaning, purpose, or connection, often with something greater than oneself. A woman may identify strongly with her church, or she may not be religious but still pray or engage in spiritual rituals during pregnancy. Understanding this distinction helps us appreciate the diversity of women's experiences as they navigate pregnancy and childbirth. Religion matters in healthcare for several reasons. It offers comfort during uncertainty, a powerful factor during pregnancy. Religious teachings also help women interpret their experiences, especially during complications or loss. Rituals, prayers, and worship create a sense of stability and connection to community life. For example, in many South Sudanese churches, women gather for prayer groups during pregnancy for protection and strength. Religious groups also build strong social networks. These networks, whether through church women's groups, youth fellowships, or extended families, often influence decisions about where women deliver. Finally, religion reinforces moral norms and expected behaviors, which can influence how a woman perceives pain, modesty, or acceptable birth practices. Religious institutions do far more than teach doctrine. They shape healthcare choices. Traditional belief systems influence decisions about when, where, and from whom care is sought. In South Sudan, many families blend church teachings with ancestral practices. Religion is interwoven into daily life: prayers before travel, blessings before medical procedures, or protective rituals for pregnant women. As future midwives, it is vital to understand the religious and cultural values that shape care-seeking behavior. Respecting these values helps build trust and improves healthcare outcomes. Many communities operate within dual health systems, where traditional and biomedical care coexist. Families may consult a doctor for antenatal checkups, but rely on a traditional birth attendant for emotional or spiritual support. However, collaboration between these systems is often limited. TBAs may be dismissed by biomedical providers, despite their influence and accessibility. These tensions reflect colonial legacies, where indigenous knowledge was viewed as inferior. Yet for many women in South Sudan, combining both systems provides comprehensive care. They may take iron tablets and still seek blessings or herbal remedies from community elders. When we talk about worldview, we are referring to how people understand reality. Many South Sudanese communities operate with a dual worldview, combining the physical world with the spiritual realm. Healing is seen as balancing the body, mind, and spirit. Illness may be explained physically, such as malaria, or spiritually, such as curses, ancestor displeasure, or moral transgressions. Pregnancy and childbirth are not just biological events, but deeply spiritual journeys. Traditional birth practices often occur within rituals meant to protect the mother and baby. Recognizing these worldviews allows midwives to communicate in a way that respects both science and culture. Women do not choose one system blindly. They are pragmatic and adaptive. They use whatever resources are accessible, spiritually meaningful, aligned with cultural expectations, and emotionally supportive. In many communities, a woman might attend a health facility for ultrasound but rely on elders for spiritual assurance or ritual cleansing. Recognizing this pragmatism helps midwives support women without judging their choices. Traditional religion emphasizes the connection between humans and the spiritual world. Healing typically involves rituals, herbal preparations, and communication with ancestral spirits. Unlike institutional churches, traditional religion is community-based and holistic. Traditional birth attendants draw on prayers, herbs, massage, and rituals, offering a socio-spiritual model of care that many women find comforting, especially in rural South Sudan. Before formal health systems, TBAs were the primary caregivers. Many communities still rely on them today. Their knowledge is based on herbal medicine, intuition, and apprenticeship. Even with expanding midwifery services, TBAs remain trusted because they provide emotional, spiritual, and cultural support that hospitals sometimes overlook. For example, a TBA may sing traditional songs or use protective herbs during labor, practices that help women feel safe and connected to their community identity. Women often choose TBAs not because they reject hospitals, but because they seek comfort, familiarity, and cultural alignment. During colonial rule, traditional practices were often dismissed or labeled pagan. Birth was moved from home to hospital, and the biomedical model overshadowed women's lived experiences. This shift contributed to the suppression of female-led indigenous birth care. Today, there is increasing recognition that excluding traditional knowledge creates gaps in care. A call to action is emerging. Embrace a woman-centered model that integrates clinical safety with cultural and spiritual dimensions. Modern healthcare systems often prioritize physical outcomes and overlook spiritual needs. Western medical education traditionally separates mind and body, which shapes how healthcare workers approach labor and birth. Yet, many South Sudanese women seek prayer, blessings, or rituals, even during facility births. For midwives, the challenge is not to replace biomedical care with rituals, but to provide culturally responsive care, acknowledging spiritual needs while maintaining evidence-based practices. Despite modernization, traditional practices remain influential. For example, herbal remedies continue to be used sacramentally within African independent churches. Some churches now integrate herbal herbs into healing ministries. Traditional healers retain legitimacy, especially in areas where biomedical services are limited. The key point is that modernity and tradition coexist. Spiritual healing remains central to the childbirth experience for many women. Finally, it is important to remember that childbirth is not merely a clinical event. It is a transformative life passage. For many women, rituals, prayers, or culturally rooted support enhance emotional well-being and trust in the birthing process. As midwives, you can improve maternal experiences by acknowledging these perspectives and working respectfully with families' spiritual preferences while maintaining evidence-based practices. To conclude, here are some questions to reflect on. 1. Should midwifery education include spiritual and cultural training? 2. How can collaboration between TBAs and trained midwives be improved, especially in South Sudan's rural areas?